Kareena said about how intimidated she's ever felt, when it comes to you. Your husband, of course, has always said that अंदर से बहुत डर लगता है लेकिन जब इंग्लिश बोलना शुरू करती है सोहा, it takes a lot of time for us to understand. My problem is I don't understand what she's saying when you're writing. And even Kareena said that. I remember Kareena said that once when the first time I met, and I realized there was Soha and Saif sitting. I'm like, what will I understand this conversation? And then apparently you went and you said after some time, hi, and I said, what's the gossip? And she's like, oh, so I think
I think we'll be fine. No, she's so much more. She is definitely, she is a source of wealth of information that she has. I don't know how.
So entertaining.
If I want to know something, then at 12 o'clock, by 12 o'clock, I will ask
if you want like a verified information, kuch dekha.
But she's also very good. She's very protective of her sources.
Yeah.
And she will only tell what she is willing to share. So I want to say that also. But there's so much that is so wonderful about her. That is much more than gossip. In terms of real wisdom. And I hope that I never assumed that she was just a fountain of gossip.
No.
I hope.
That's all. She didn't mean that.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah. But how did you... This is what her point of view was when she was saying, oh my God, I was intimidated. And I was like, oh my God, both of them are so well-spoken. I want to know what you thought of it. Like when Kunal met you, she was like, Bapre, after a point,
Yeah, I know. Because I was doing some articles for the Oxford magazine. And he was like, yeah, what are you writing? And I was like, I'm writing an article. And I was like, and I don't know. He was doing some magic tricks, I remember. And I was like, okay, sure. And he was like, guess the card. And I was like, okay, sure.
This is the kind of meet cute that you guys had.
And then I asked him, so I said, what do you do like in the evening after shooting and all? What do you do? So he said, nothing, I go home and I watch films. I was like, he's very boring. Later did I realize, okay, he's like an onion. You have to really peel the layers and you get to know him.
But from your side, when like Kareena said this, that I didn't know what to...
Yeah.
What were you thinking when you first met her? And first when you saw the blossoming of romance?
I just remember my brother calling me and we were shooting something or the other at the time, I think 99. And he said, I want you to know that my girlfriend is 2 years younger than you or something, he said. And I was like,
So safe.
Okay, great. That's great. That was my introduction. And then, of course, I mean, I think when you meet anybody who is a superstar, you have certain preconceptions about how they might be. I'm not one of those people who really judges someone until you meet them. Yeah. Because I've met enough people to know that you must really meet them face to face to have an opinion of them.
Of course.
So all I thought was, okay, this is like a very famous person. But, I think, and it takes time to make an impression of someone. I really feel like perhaps the first few times that we met, I didn't get to know her. It took time. It takes time and trust and consistency, I think, to build a relationship with some people. And I felt like it took that time between Kareena and myself. And also a few incidents that have happened over the past maybe 10, 12 years that have perhaps brought us closer together. So I think that, as I said, any relationship that has some meaning to it, it requires time and nurturing.
You said that, and then she also had mentioned, because you said this, I have to bring it up, that she saw the way you took care of your father when she was 18. She saw the way you brought the family together, and your mother and she and your brother, I think all of them unanimously agree that you're kind of the fulcrum of the family. You're like the balance point. She was saying that if someone wants, if your mom is angry, your brother is reaching up to you.
Yeah.
Not, I wouldn't say peacemaker by choice, but you've just become.
Yeah.
And also somebody who people go to you for like really nice advice. They believe in you and trust you. To become this person.
But you have siblings?
I have. My eldest sister is a little like that.
So the two of you?
Yeah. My eldest
I'm a third child. Third children are by nature peacemakers, charming, friendly. It's genetics. It's like how there's a science behind it. There's something about the firstborn child. And they get like all the classes, all the nutrition, all the parents doing their best with them. I don't know if that happened with your sister. And then second child is different, middle child is different. Middle child sometimes falls between the cracks. So there's my elder sister. And then the youngest child is somebody who has to be noticed, has to be like, I think, charming and diplomatic and all of those things. I think that personality is because of my order in terms of birth. And a little bit, I do feel I avoid conflict. I like peace. It takes a lot to upset me. I don't get upset. I don't get affected. I don't get that involved, to a point.
And patience?
patience, detachment, little bit, not taking things to heart. I'd like to say slightly different to my brother and my mother in that perspective, who are slightly more sensitive and emotional. They get upset. They are expressive about their feelings. And sometimes in that heat of the moment, it's better to talk to somebody who will absorb, who will listen, who will calm down. Often Bhai will call me. Many times, there'll be back-to-back calls. And I know that he wants to say something that is perhaps upset him. But if I don't take his call and 30 minutes later I call him back, he'll be like, I'm okay now. You know, I was upset about something, but I've thought about it and I've calmed down. So I feel like sometimes people just need a little bit of time to calm down.
But it's wonderful to have a sibling.
It's wonderful
towards them. Besides the fact that you can share your family traumas,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? You also have somebody like a best friend there for you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful bond that you share with both Sabah and Saif. And I think did that also add to the person who is, because I see that bond. I see how caring, how cool he is with you. They always talk about this overbearing brother who wants to know everything that happens to his life and then controlling in that manner. In a nice way. I don't think it's a little different, but there is still...
The intentions are always good.
Yeah, there are shades of control, but the intention is always good.
Yeah.
But very interesting that Saif's such a anomaly in that. I love it.
He is...
Am I right?
He is. He's different, definitely. What I like about him, and there are many things, is that he gives very good advice from a perspective that I don't understand, which is a very male perspective, which I won't get from my mother, which I won't get from my sister, which I won't get from a lot of my female friends. So, for example, if I am conflicted about something with Kunal, he will give me a male perspective that will help me to understand. And some of the best advice that he's given me is that now that you're married and that you have a child, you must prioritize that family. You must prioritize your husband. Also over sometimes your children. Because a lot of people, when they get married and they have children, they forget that they're also wives and husbands. And one thing that we end up doing often at home is I've called Kunal Papa so many times when I'm talking about him, of course, to Inaya, but when I'm talking to him. And I'm like, why am I calling him Papa? He's not my Papa. So even when I talk to Inaya now, I call him Kunal. It's because I want her to understand that we all have different relationships.
Very well put. But then, I mean, they always see the sense of pride in him and celebrating you as well. I mean, you, of course, celebrate everything, whether it's his family, which is Kareena, immediate family, or what he is doing. But he has that sense of pride in what you do as well, which is very important. Yes, sibling rivalry, but not all siblings share that kind of bond. I have realized that. I have a fantastic sister. We're very, very close. But I've realized that's not really the same.
It's true.
And I'm very lucky.
And we are lucky. And I'm saying that just because you are related to someone, it's not necessary that because you're family, that is a place that you trust and you feel safe and you feel secure and you can flourish. It should be like that. But not everybody's families and not everybody's siblings are like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's friends like family. As long as there's someone there for you, I think that's the most important thing. But I am fortunate that those people are my family because, like you said, when it comes to family trauma, when it comes to family memories, at the end of the day, I have very good friends. But very few people, especially, I think about after my mother often. And I think that where will those connections, those memories be if I didn't have my siblings to remember, what were things like when we were growing up, when we were in Bhopal, when we were in Patodi, when we were in Delhi. Very few people will remember that, from the moment I was born.